Hi, I'm Madison. I'm 24 years old, and I work as a graphic designer. I never thought my life would become a story like this. But everything changed when I learned how far a perfect boyfriend could go to hide the ugliest truth. If you had met me a few months ago, you would have seen a girl who thought she had it all. I lived in a tiny but cute apartment in Austin, Texas. I had a stable remote job designing social media graphics for small businesses. And most importantly, I had Tyler. Tyler was the kind of guy people noticed. Tall, athletic, tan from all the time he spent outside as a fitness trainer. He had that easy smile people trust too fast. My friends joked he looked like someone from a fitness ad. I used to laugh with them, feeling proud. A little part of me loved that people were jealous. In the beginning, he made sure I had no reason to doubt him. He brought me iced coffee before my morning Zoom calls. He posted our selfies with cheesy captions like, "My girl, my world." He texted me good morning and good night every day. My mom said, "He's a good one, don't lose him." I believed her, but little cracks started to show. The kind you can only see if you stop smiling long enough to look closely. The first crack was his phone. At first, he left it everywhere. On the couch. On the counter. Face up, unlocked. Then one day, he changed his lock screen. No big deal, I told myself. Everyone has a right to privacy. But then he started keeping his phone in his pocket. In the bathroom. Under his pillow. I remember the first time he snatched it quickly when I reached for it, thinking it was mine. A cold little chill ran through my chest. "What's wrong?" I asked, trying to sound casual. "Nothing." He laughed a little too loud. "Just work stuff, babe." Clients' bodies, before and after pics. Not something I want anyone else seeing. I forced myself to smile, even though something inside me twisted. I told myself I was being insecure. The second crack was his schedule. Tyler always talked about how dedicated he was to his clients. Early morning sessions, late night sessions, weekend boot camps. I respected that. But then he started working late, almost every weekday. "I've got this new client," he would say, tying his sneakers. "High paying, super demanding. I can't lose them. This is huge for my career, Mads." I wanted to be supportive. I'd kiss his cheek and say, "Go get them, future CEO." But then there were nights he came home smelling like perfume that wasn't mine. Soft, floral, expensive. "That's just the gym," he insisted. "People wear too much spray there, I swear." I laughed it off, but my stomach nodded every time. The third crack came at girls' night. My best friend, Emily, invited me to a small restaurant downtown. String lights, soft music, spicy tacos, our usual comfort spot. I showed up in my favorite denim jacket, ready to complain about deadlines and listen to her rant about her boss. But that night, Emily was quiet. She kept glancing at me like she was hiding something. "What?" I asked, half laughing. "You're scaring me." "Just say it." She took a deep breath. "Mads, I need to tell you something. And you might hate me for it. But I can't keep it to myself." A cold fear ran through me. My mind jumped straight to Tyler. "Emily, Emily," I whispered, my hands gripping the edge of the table. "Is this about him?" She nodded slowly. "I saw Tyler on a dating app last week." My heart dropped. The sounds of forks, glasses, and soft music faded into a dull echo around us. "No," I said, shaking my head. "You must be mistaken. Maybe it's an old profile. Maybe someone used his pictures. It happens, you know." "I took a screenshot," she said softly. "I didn't want to, but I did. I can show you." My throat tightened. Every part of me wanted to plug my ears and run away. I didn't want to see. I didn't want my perfect little picture cracked wide open. "Delete it," I said quickly, my voice trembling. "Please, just delete it." I trust him. I don't want to become that paranoid girlfriend who stalks every app. Emily looked at me with sad eyes. Okay, but if something ever feels off, promise you'll talk to me? I nodded, but deep inside, a tiny voice whispered, something is already off. Over the next few weeks, the cracks grew bigger. Tyler got more critical. He started commenting on my clothes. You're wearing that? He'd say, you'd look way hotter if you lost like 5 pounds and wore something tighter. I laughed it off, but his words sunk into my skin like little needles. I started changing outfits 3 times before work. I began skipping dessert. I worked out more, not because I wanted to, but because I wanted him to look at me the way he used to one Thursday night. He said he had a late training session with a client. I stayed home, working on a logo for a bakery in Dallas. Around 11 p.m., I heard his keys in the door. He walked in, hair messy, shirt slightly wrinkled, smelling like that same perfume again. Long session? I asked, keeping my voice light. Yeah, he said, tossing his bag on the couch. Client's going through a breakup. Talked more than we trained. Something inside me twisted again, but I smiled. I nodded. I pretended that the truth came out on a quiet night when I wasn't prepared for anything. We were at my place, watching a movie. Tyler fell asleep on the couch with his head in my lap, his phone resting on the coffee table. He snored softly, and I brushed his hair away from his forehead. I tried to focus on the movie, but my eyes kept drifting to the phone. The black screen stared back at me like it was keeping a secret. Then, suddenly, the screen lit up. I didn't touch it. I swear I didn't. The notification just appeared, bright and clear. Can't stop thinking about last night. When can we do it again? Bella. My whole body went cold. My ears rang. My heart hammered so hard I thought it would shake him awake. I stared at the message. My mind screamed, no, 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 no. Maybe it's his cousin. Maybe it's a joke. Maybe another notification popped up. Don't forget to delete our chat. Your girlfriend seems smart. In that moment, the picture-perfect life I had been protecting shattered like glass. I looked down at Tyler, sleeping peacefully in my lap. For the first time, I didn't see my future husband. I saw a stranger. Something inside me broke. But under the pain, something else started to wake up. The night I read those messages, I felt like someone had reached into my chest and torn everything apart. But as I sat there, frozen, with Tyler's phone glowing on the table, something else grew inside me. It wasn't just sadness. It was something colder, sharper. I waited until the notifications stopped. My hands shook as I slowly picked up his phone. I hesitated for a second, then swiped up. To my shock, the screen opened. He had unlocked it earlier to check something and hadn't locked it again. I knew I had seconds. Madison, if you open this, you're crossing a line, my conscience whispered. He crossed it first. Something darker replied. I tapped on the message thread with Bella. The chat exploded with hearts. Winks and worse. Last night was insane. I can't believe you still have a girlfriend, LO. I'm only with her until the gym opens, right? She's got great credit and a cute car. Don't worry. A cold fear ran through me. I scrolled faster, pictures, hotel reservations. Jokes about me. Gotta act all sweet with Mads tonight. She's so emotional. My stomach turned. I thought that was the worst of it. I was wrong. I checked other names. There was Sophie, Jenna, even a contact saved as Client A, which clearly wasn't about training. He had a system. Different girls, different days. Compliments copied and pasted like they were part of a script. My heart wasn't special to him. I was just one of many. I heard him shift in his sleep and nearly dropped the phone. I quickly put it back on the table, screen down, and forced myself to breathe. I couldn't confront him. Not yet. If I woke him now, it would end in screaming lies, fake tears. He would twist it. He would say I invaded his privacy. He would tell people I was crazy. I needed proof. I needed calm. The next morning, I called Emily. "Come over," I said. My voice sounded flat, like it belonged to someone else. "I need you." She showed up 20 minutes later with coffee and a worried face. I locked the door behind her and went straight to the point. "You were right," I said quietly. "About Tyler." Emily's eyes filled with tears instantly. "What happened?" I told her everything. The messages, the screenshots I had taken after he fell back asleep, the words he had written about me. By the time I finished, my cheeks were wet. I hadn't even realized I was crying. Emily reached for my hand. "Mads, I'm so sorry." "I feel stupid," I whispered. "Like I should have seen it earlier. How did I ignore all of this?" "Because you loved him," she said, "and because he wanted you to ignore it." I thought it would stop there, but it did single quotes T. Over the next few days, I started noticing things I had overlooked. The new gym space he talked about all the time. He kept saying our future, that legally it was going to be in his name with my credit as co-signer on the lease. He kept pushing me to trust him and sign things fast. "I thought we were a team," he said once when I hesitated. "If you don't believe in me, who will?" Those words echoed in my mind now in a completely different way. I opened my laptop and started checking my emails. Loan applications, lease drafts, emails he had forwarded with, "Just sign here, babe. I'll handle the rest." Anxiety washed over me. It wasn't just my heart he was playing with. He was planning a whole future funded by me, built on lies. "I can't just break up with him," I said to Emily that weekend. We were sitting in my living room, surrounded by tissues and empty takeout boxes. "He'll walk away with everything, and he'll keep doing this to other girls. So what do you want to do?" she asked carefully. "I want him to feel what I feel," I said. But louder, bigger. I don't want to just hurt his feelings. I want to ruin his little fantasy world. The thought scared me. I wasn't a vengeful person. I was the one who apologized first. The one who avoided conflict. The one who said, "It's okay," even when it wasn't. But now, every time I pictured his thumbs typing, "She's so emotional," to another girl, that softness inside me burned. I thought about dramatic revenge. Throwing his clothes out the window, keying his car, showing up at his gym and screaming at him in front of clients. But then I pictured the aftermath. People whispering, "Wow, she's crazy." Tyler shaking his head sadly, saying, "Yeah, she was always like that." Him walking away, looking like the victim. No, that wasn't justice. That was giving him a story to use. I need to be smarter than that, I said slowly. I need to be calm. Emily raised an eyebrow. "What are you thinking?" "First," I said, wiping my face, "I'm going to quietly pull my name off anything he can use against me. Leases, loans, car access. I'm done being his safety net." That week, I called the leasing office for the potential gym space. I explained that I wouldn't be co-signing anything and that if they received a document with my name, it wasn't valid. I called my bank and double-checked that no loans had been taken in my name. I changed my online banking passwords. Each phone call felt like pulling a hook out of my skin. Painful, but freeing. Second, I started collecting evidence. Not out of obsession, but out of self-protection. Screenshots of messages, saved emails, photos of hotel receipts he'd left in his gym bag. I discovered something that shocked me. One of the girls he texted, Bella, was actually a client he trained. Another, Sophie, was an influencer who had been promoting his fitness program online. They weren't random girls. They were people helping his career. He's mixing business with cheating. Emily said, disgusted. "That's so unprofessional." "It's worse than that," I replied. "He's promising them deals, free training, connections. He's using everyone." A new idea formed slowly in my mind. What if I didn't just expose him as a bad boyfriend? What if I exposed him as a liar in the one place he cared about most? His career, his image, his precious brand. Tyler always said, image is everything in fitness. People need to trust you. What happens when no one trusts you? I decided I wasn't going to just leave. I wanted to make sure that when I walked away, he would be left standing in the mess he created. So I kept playing the supportive girlfriend. I still showed up to his gym. I still smiled at his clients. I still brought him protein bars and said things like, I'm so proud of you, even though inside I could barely look at him. Every time he kissed my forehead, I had to fight the urge to push him away. Every love you, Mads, sounded hollow in my ears. Soon, I told myself. Soon. The final piece fell into place when Tyler announced his big grand opening event for his new gym space. It's going to be huge, he said, eyes shining. I invited local influencers, some high-paying clients, even a few small brand sponsors. This is my moment. Our moment, he almost said. But he didn't. I smiled sweetly. That's amazing, Tyler. I'll be there. Front row. He grinned, kissing me. Couldn't do it without you. But we both knew he already tried. That night, when he fell asleep, I lay awake staring at the ceiling. My heart still hurt. The betrayal still burned. But underneath all of that, a calm clarity spread through me. I knew exactly what I was going to do. The night of the grand opening felt like the calm before a storm only I could see. For everyone else, it was just a celebration. For me, it was the moment everything would break, and finally, it wouldn't be my heart. Tyler's new gym was polished and modern. Bright white walls, black and gold equipment, loud music, and a neon sign that said, Tyler Strong Fitness. People were already arriving when I pulled into the parking lot. Influencers in matching workout sets took selfies by the doorway. Clients in expensive athleisure clothes chatted near the smoothie bar. His sponsors had banners up with their logos displayed proudly. I stepped out of my car, my hands trembling just a little. I had chosen my outfit carefully. Simple black jeans, a white blouse, and red lipstick. Clean, calm, strong. No one looking at me would think, that girl is about to destroy her cheating boyfriend's carefully built life. Inside, Tyler was in his element, laughing loudly, hugging people, shaking hands, taking pictures. He looked over at me and his face lit up. There she is, he said, wrapping an arm around my waist as I reached him. The woman behind the man. Everyone, this is Madison. Couldn't have done this without her. I smiled, my stomach twisting. I wondered how many of the women in this room had received the same words from him, just in different forms. Congratulations, I said softly. I'm really proud of you. He kissed my cheek. Stay close, okay? I want you next to me when I make my speech. Oh, I murmured. I'll be right here. What he didn't know was that I had already spoken to a few people before I even stepped into the building. Over the past weeks, I had quietly reached out. I found Bella and Sophie and another girl named Rachel. I sent them screenshots of messages he'd sent us all. I apologized for not believing sooner. Some were furious. Some were embarrassed. But most of them were grateful someone was finally calling him out. Bella, the client, had been told she was special, that he was going to leave me for her. Sophie, the influencer, had been promised free training and promo deals if she kept their fun little secret. I invited them to the grand opening. I told them they deserved to see the truth too. At first they hesitated. Then, one by one, they said yes. Now, I spotted them around the room, standing silently, watching him. Their eyes didn't shine anymore. They were cold, calculating, just like mine. The music lowered as someone tapped the mic. Everyone, can we get your attention? It was one of Tyler's sponsor reps. We're so excited to celebrate the opening of Tyler Strong Fitness. Let's give a warm welcome to the man of the hour, Tyler. Applause filled the room. Tyler stepped up to the small stage, holding a microphone. He looked confident, powerful. Thank you all for being here, he began. When I started as a trainer, I never imagined I'd be opening my own space. This gym isn't just about fitness. It's about trust, hard work, and trust. The words snapped something inside me into place. I quietly walked to the front of the room. Emily, who stood near the back, caught my eye. She gave me a tiny nod. My phone was in my hand, my proof ready. I waited until Tyler finished his little speech about integrity and commitment. Any questions? He joked, smiling. Yes, I said. The room fell silent. Dozens of eyes turned to me. Tyler's smile flickered, confused, but still charming. Madison? He said, laughing lightly. You got something to say, babe? I took a deep breath. My heart hammered, but my voice came out steady. Yeah, I replied. I do. I turned slightly so everyone could see me. My name is Madison, I said. I'm Tyler's girlfriend. Or at least that's what I thought I was. A ripple moved through the crowd. For the past year, I believed in him. I supported him. I almost signed legal documents to help him get this place. I thought we were building a future together. Tyler shifted on stage, his smile shrinking. Mads, what are you doing? He whispered into the mic, trying to laugh. I ignored him. But while I was working, trusting, and planning, I continued. Tyler was busy too. Sending messages, booking hotel rooms, promising different women the same future. Gasps and murmurs filled the room. I opened my phone and, with one tap, mirrored my screen to the TV behind him. I had asked one of his assistants earlier to help me set up a surprise slideshow for him. They had no idea what it was really for. On the big screen, the first screenshot appeared. Tyler's messages. His name, his words. Don't worry about her, one text read. She's just emotional. Once the gym opens, I'll be free. The room went dead quiet. Another screenshot. Last night was insane. Can't wait to do it again. Just delete our chat, my girlfriend's not dumb. Then photos. Hotel receipts. His contact list with hearts next to different names. This is fake, Tyler said quickly. His voice was high, panicked. She's twisting everything. She's mad we had an argument, really? A voice called out. Bella stepped forward. Her face was pale, but her eyes were hard. Because I have those messages too, Tyler, on my phone. Another girl, Sophie, walked closer. Me too, she said. You told me you were single. You said she was just your roommate. People turned to look at him. His clients. His sponsors. His influencer friends. This isn't what it looks like, Tyler stammered. They're all lying. Madison, turn that off. I'm not lying, I said calmly. I'm done covering for you. One of the sponsor reps whispered to another and then stepped forward. We can't be associated with this, she muttered. This is unprofessional. A client shook his head. You lecture us about discipline and honesty, and this is what you do. Tyler's face turned red. You can't do this to me, he snapped at me, his voice cracking. I built this from nothing. No, I replied quietly. You built this on lies. I felt my hands stop shaking. For the first time in weeks, the knot in my chest loosened. In case anyone is wondering, I added, my voice steady, I've already removed my name from any loans or leases. I won't be co-signing anything. I won't be your safety net anymore, Tyler. He stared at me, furious and desperate. Madison, please, he hissed. We can talk about this. Don't ruin my career over a few stupid mistakes. A mistake, I said, is something you do once and regret. This was a lifestyle. I stepped back from the front of the room. This is me leaving, Tyler. This is me choosing myself. I turned and walked away. My legs felt strangely light, like they no longer carried the weight of his lies. As I passed Emily, she grabbed my hand and squeezed it. Behind us, the room erupted in whispers. I heard someone ask for a refund. I heard someone say, I'm finding a new trainer. I didn't look back. In the days that followed, the fallout was brutal for him. Some sponsors pulled out. A few clients canceled their memberships. The girls he had juggled blocked him everywhere. His carefully curated online image began to crack as rumors spread. He sent me long messages, voice notes, apologies that sounded more like complaints. You ruined everything. You overreacted. We could have worked it out privately. I didn't respond. I blocked his number eventually, not out of anger, but out of peace. I started therapy. I cried. A lot. I questioned my worth, my judgment, my ability to trust myself. But slowly, I began to rebuild. I stopped asking, why wasn't I enough? And started asking, why did I accept less than I deserved? I poured my energy into my work. I took on new clients and, with Emily's encouragement, started my own small design brand. I opened an online store selling digital templates and branding packages. My apartment felt different without his presence, but over time it started to feel safe, mine. One evening, months later, I walked past a small local gym on the other side of town. I saw a group of women laughing together after a class, supporting each other, high-fiving. The trainer was a woman in her 30s, kind eyes, strong posture. For a moment, I thought about Tyler. I wondered how his brand was doing. Then I realized something important. I didn't care. My story didn't end with his downfall. It continued with my choice to heal, to grow, to love myself more than I loved the idea of having a perfect boyfriend. How to get revenge on a cheating boyfriend, I would tell anyone now, is simple. You don't just expose him. You expose the truth. You protect yourself. You walk away with your head high. And then you build a life so full, so peaceful, that his name doesn't even cross your mind anymore. That's what I did. And in the end, that was the sweetest revenge of all.